Hey babes. Hey you sexy, sexy people. I'm gonna try and I know that we're talking about some pretty heavy things day after day. I'm gonna include some levity in probably not this one, but in other videos. I pinky promise. But remember when I was talking about this little number right here, the Special Advisor for Assistance to Orphans and Vulnerable Children, and I said, ooh, that sounds like a lot of yikes. What do you have planned on here, Secretary of State? Okay, we're just going to talk about that a little bit. Okay, so I'm not going to lie. This is a relatively short one. This is a bloop bloop. That's pretty much it. But the thing that I really would like to talk about within this, it's just at the top, the appointment. Just the appointment. No later than 90 days after the date of the enactment of this act, which once again has not been turned into law. Gentle reminder that by this day, the day that I am recording this, which is September 17th, it is just introduced. That is all. We'll be keeping an eye out on it, but right now, this just we're thinking ahead. That's all. But no later than 90 days after the date of the enactment of this act, the Secretary shall appoint a special advisor for the assistance to orphans and vulnerable children. Now that might seem soups like general, just like, oh my God, Shayna, obviously. Do we remember who the Secretary of State is? It's Marco Rubio. Now I'm going to be connecting some pieces for things that I have made a while ago, but do we remember when Marco Rubio said and did this?
The president, in an act of extraordinary friendship to our country, knowing the challenges we face in the U.S., has agreed to the most unprecedented and extraordinary migratory agreement anywhere in the world. He has agreed to accept for deportation any illegal alien in the United States who is a criminal from any nationality, be they MS-13 or Tren de Aragua, and house them in his jails. And he's also offered to do the same for dangerous criminals currently in custody and serving their sentences in the United States, even if they're U.S. citizens or legal residents.
Cool. Okay. So within that, you might be like, oh my God, Shayna, like what does that have to do with children? The amount of children that have not only been deported, citizens regardless, children that have been deported, the amount of children that have died in ICE detention camps, and then even larger so, the amount of children who have had their parents deported, who are now basically living as orphans within the United States. I've made an entire video talking about the longstanding ramifications of the children that have been left abandoned by these systems. No, let me rephrase that. Not abandoned by these systems. Intentionally orphaned, intentionally traumatized by these systems. And then the pipeline, the school to prison pipeline, the homelessness pipeline, the criminalization of homelessness, the fact that prisons are basically just giant slave camps, like there, and then the sex trafficking that is happening, the child trafficking that is also happening within this. And then we have Marco Rubio, who is soups cozy with El Salvador, more specifically El Salvadorian prisons. And he's going to be appointing somebody to be in charge of vulnerable and orphaned children. Does that sound like somebody that should be appointing with already a crisis among children within the United States, caused specifically by things that he is intentionally putting into action and creating international villainous connections about? Whoever he appoints is going to be so deeply in line with his agenda. I think that this is a cause for concern. Oh, but Shayna, I'm a citizen. Oh, but Shayna, my kids are citizens. Oh, but Shayna, this could never happen to... I'm gonna boop you on the nose when I say this. Boop. It's still gonna affect you. I don't know how many of y'all caught this little number. This happened this wasn't a couple days ago. No, technically a couple days ago. It was within the month of September. But the Supreme Court of the United States says that racial profiling is A-OK for ICE. If you sound Latino in accent, if you're speaking Spanish, if you look Latino enough, you can be pulled aside by ICE. Possibly even arrested, possibly even deported. Because you look a little bit too, not Spanish than Spain Spanish, because them's white people. I feel like both the Spanish and other people keep forgetting that they are quite European. Somebody that lived amongst them, they are quite white. They're like, ooh, Latinos. Jail, deported, bye. You want to know the kooky thing? Latinos look like everybody. Anybody can look Latino. Because the Latin diaspora is so wide. You've got the palest of the pale, blonde hair, blue-eyed, looking straight off the peninsula of Europe, all the way to the largest black population outside. I mean, they're not Latinos. Wait. No, they are Latinos. They're not Hispanic. There it is. The largest population of black people outside of Africa is in Brazil. We're talking deep chocolate. We're talking 80% cacao. So not only are quite literally any of us on the table for this, but that also means that any of our kids are also on the table for this. Because whatever happens to the parents is going to immediately affect the kids. Now, some of these kids are getting snatched right up off the streets, but a lot of these kids are also getting abandoned. Not abandoned, oh my gosh, are also getting left behind. There it is. That's the word. That's the phrase. Because their parents are getting kidnapped. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There are a lot of reasons to not have kids, regardless of where you are in the world. The birth rate decline is happening globally. If you are in the United States right now, but I just really want to be a parent. Oh, I just really want to be a dad. Oh, I just really want to be a mom. Like, listen, I really want us to take a hard look at what is happening on a day-to-day basis around us and really ask yourself, is this the time? Is this really the time? Because even outside of what is happening politically, which, let us not be wrong, let's be very, very clear about this. Imagine a garbage can, a giant Mount Vesuvius of a garbage can, but it is also a volcano. And so that hot, sweaty garbage is also 1,000 degrees Celsius, and it is flying. It is hitting people. It's not even coming down the mountain. It is in your living room. And you're like, but I could be pregnant right now. Really? Really? Are we sure about that? Things are not going to get better for a while. I'm gonna be just from what I'm seeing. Things ain't looking so hot. And I don't know when they're gonna start looking comfortably warm. So now is a great time to not get pregnant. And I know that that is going to be that's going to be made more difficult because of the criminalization of birth control, of IUDs, of truly any form of birth control, especially for anybody with a uterus. So if you are engaging with men, which at this point, and I might have to make a completely different video about this because I can't remember which Scandinavian country did it, where all of the women went on strike and said, we're not going to be engaging with any man, period, until we have our rights. And then they fixed that immediately. If I was in the United States right now, mind you, I have not been dating for quite some time, but if I was in the United States right now and I had an itch to date, I would, objectively speaking, logically speaking, it is very dangerous to be engaging with men right now in the United States, especially if you don't have a long-standing, healthy, loving relationship with them. And even if you do, my goodness, please, being around a penis right now, being around a penis is very dangerous. Your life and multiple other lives that are connected to yours, whether that is potential children, whether that is healthcare providers, whether that is people that is transportation workers that are trying to help you get from one place to another so that way you could get the care that you need. Multiple people's lives could be negatively affected from something that that man could do to a sock. Let me rephrase, something that that man has arguably already done to many socks. Please, use this. Use that. I know sometimes you get all horny and whatnot, I guess. Just, I want you to stay safe out there. Don't want to tell you what to do, but I do want you to stay safe out there. Leave your thoughts in the comments. All right, I'll see you later.